Welcome back to this YouTube channel where we take on everything you ever wanted to know about narcissism. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe. You'll get daily content. You want a notification, just hit that notification button, bell, whatever it is, and then you can be told every day when a new video comes out, so you'll be prepared and get your daily narcissism lesson. And if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It's a way that it gets to other people then, so that more people can really understand it. And today is really an important topic because it's that thing that everyone wants to know. How can I figure out who the narcissists are so I can get ahead of them and avoid them? That's what we're going to be taking on today. So I'd have to say one of the questions I probably get the most often from people all over the place is, Dr. Ramani, please, oh, please tell us how to identify a narcissist as early as possible. What do I need to look for? What are the signs? What are the red flags? There's got to be tells that happen early so I can dodge this bullet. I've shared the easy ones that can be spotted. They don't listen. They look at their device instead of talking to you. They interrupt you when you talk with little regard for what you're saying, but would get mad if you did that to them. They become really reactive and angry when you give them any kind of feedback or criticism, or they act like an ass when they have to wait in line at a restaurant or their order takes too long. But even that's all this stuff I'm telling you, it can take a minute to show up. It's often not going to show up in the first 5 minutes, or you would run. But there is actually another way to detect narcissism early in the game, especially if you are already a survivor of narcissistic abuse. Very simply, pay attention to how you feel in your body. When you are in the presence of a narcissistic or invalidating or toxic person, remember, you will almost always feel a sense of discomfort in your body. For some people, it's a pit in their gut. For other people, it might be this headache that comes on real fast. For others, it might feel like a tightness in their chest, or even the symptoms of an impending panic attack or dizziness. Some people will simply say they feel the hairs standing up on the back of their neck. Some people even get like the goosebumps, like the chills like that. But know this, it won't really feel good or right in your body. Your body is actually a bit more clever than your brain because your body has nothing to talk it out of what it feels like. The problem with the brain is that it's a little bit too thinky. It's always justifying, but the body just feels. That's why trauma work often does best targeting the body. The same applies to when we're trying to identify narcissists. Now, me personally, I'll be honest with you, I feel narcissists in the center of my chest and then down towards my diaphragm. I feel a tightness and a little bit of feeling sick to my stomach, and I really, really lose my appetite. Cognitively, thinking wise, I know at that point I want to get out of the situation, but my body is really telling me the story. It tells me not a good person, doesn't feel good, get away. Yeah, my thinking is that, but my body's like, get the hell out of here. Now, I want you to think back to some of your narcissistic relationships in the early days when you were still identifying some of those early red flags, whether that happened in childhood or adulthood. Even if in an adult relationship where you may have been wowed by the charm and the confidence and charisma, I'll bet that your body was telling you something. You felt it. Something wasn't quite right. In some cases, people misinterpret those bodily cues, especially in romantic relationships. They misinterpret them as butterflies in my stomach, or I'm really excited. And these feelings, it must just be the excitement of falling in love. It's not. Other people may interpret those bodily cues as just being nerves. But more often than not, those bodily sensations are telling you something isn't quite right. Your body feels it. Here's the thing, our brains are gaslighters because when our body feels something in its beautiful honesty, our body often gets it right. But our brains, so lost in the trauma bonding and all the rest of it and all those memories, they'll talk us out of it. It will talk us out of it, justify it, or tell us it's something else. People with historical or legacy narcissistic relationships in their lives, parents, extended families, They will have these signals really wired more than other people might. It means that we will feel similar sensations that we felt in childhood. But that familiarity, when we experience it again in adulthood, could be mistaken as chemistry, which is actually really dangerous. And the intoxicating trauma bonded seduction can drag us in. Our bodies are just replaying that signal from adulthood that now a new adult is activating. It's meant to be a warning in adulthood. Pay attention. There's a narcissist, an abuser, or an invalidator in your presence. Your poor body is just saying, get out. Now, as a child, think about it. If you had a narcissistic parent, what happened? For some of you, you felt the pit of dread in your tummy when the car pulled up in the driveway at the end of the day. You would wonder how long it would be until you would get yelled at or abused, or your other parent would get screamed at, or this parent would either hit you or your siblings or your other parent, or you knew the time of day when your narcissistic parent's rage got agitated. If it was evening, for example, just the tolling of a clock bell at 9 p.m. or whatever time it was, you would feel it in your body, even to this day. Your poor sympathetic nervous system would hold on to that memory, and in adulthood, you would feel it again. And children of alcoholics and addicts have similar historical traumas that they store in their bodies. If any of this is your story, again, feel free if you feel comfortable sharing in the comments, but this is a common thread for both groups. When you meet a new narcissist, it isn't instant. It may be that you see something in their expression, their arrogance, their stance, their way of not really making eye contact. It's a real trick for narcissists. They have an incredible ability to look through your eyes, but not into your eyes, as though they can look right through your eyes at the wall or the door behind you and see if someone better is coming in. But their sneer, the tone of their voice, once they start talking, whatever it is, you can feel it in your body. It doesn't matter what they're saying. If I had just one regret in my life, and heaven above, I wish I had only one. So many regrets that I've lost count. But the regret I have is not listening to my body, because my body was right every single time. It sensed the narcissism right away. My body is still right, even when I have to continue to encounter the existing narcissist in my life that I already know. I don't sleep well the night before. I feel a clenching in my gut as I drive up to it, a rawness in my airway, a pounding at my temples. I feel it. Nowadays, when I meet a new narcissist, I trust the feeling in my body and I immediately search for the exits. I may smile uncomfortably for a minute, nod, say a few, that's really interesting. Wow, it's interesting. I see. And then excuse myself to the bathroom, claim I have an emergency call, and never come back. If only I had done that earlier, I would have saved myself a world of hurt. But such is life and the learning curve of life. My own legacy issues of narcissistic abuse meant that self-doubt and not trusting my bodily signals when they were firing was really what took me into some bad places. I have worked with so many clients who will acknowledge that to this day, they feel it when they encounter, for example, their parents, even now they're adults, who feel the palpable energy when they are in the presence of a narcissistic partner or ex, but they feel it in their bodies, who feel the dread as they have to go to a meeting with narcissistic people. I do remember once having a job that was chock full of narcissists and enablers. And before a weekly meeting actually that we would have, my head would actually start pounding about an hour before every time. And there was nothing I could do. I had to attend the meeting. It was a requirement in the job. But I would try to front load ibuprofen. But ultimately, in the name of my liver, my soul, and my sanity, I quit the job. But people are shocked that years later, when they encounter whoever the narcissist is, their body goes off like it's the 4th of July. The body gets it. So listen to it. It's the best narcissist detector we've got. So that's the answer to the question. How do I figure out if someone's narcissistic? Yeah, you could do stuff like look for that reactivity and their sensitivity and their lack of empathy and the entitlement and the arrogance and all of that. But above all else, pay attention in your body to how you feel. The underlying aggression that exists in all narcissists is right there. It's always right under the surface. And your primitive brain feels it in their presence and is trying to signal to you this person's dangerous. But in our world of second chances and everyone deserves a chance and don't be judgmental and you should forgive, our trauma bonded brains go in where angels and our bodies fear to tread. The body offers the best signals of all, the best warnings that you are in the presence of a toxic person. Pay attention to it, listen, and if you can, as early as possible, act on it and get out. Hope that helps. Thanks again.